somebody who I am always thrilled to call a friend and a longtime colleague. Nobody better than this man, a legend, a Hall of Fame sportscaster, courtesy of Nutrisystem. Chris Berman. How are you, Chris?
Nice to see you, Rich. Good to be with you. A home game. You and the Rams, a home game.
Yes.
Nice job.
We tried to install the Oculus here, but it was not apparently safe.
Budget
OSHA stepped in. Said
They're always
this
there.
is not safe.
Thank goodness for them, but they're always there.
Red tape. A lot of red tape. Couldn't fight through it. But yeah, you're right. Home game.
The Bucks, Rams, Rich.
That's I hope to hoist a trophy. Yeah, absolutely.
Anything's possible,
You
pal.
look great. How much weight have you lost?
Well, I was a nose tackle.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Right.
And now I'm kind of a big hitting outside linebacker. Scat back, punt returner. No.
Okay.
I don't think so.
But you can drop into coverage. You can drop into coverage.
Total in
46.
In a year and a half. I mean, not to get, but
sure.
A lot of it was done last year when I was turning 65. Well, now a year and a half ago, let's lose 35.
Right.
About 10 or 12 more this year. And you get started kind of after the Super Bowl. New Year's resolution, but we're doing football.
Right.
We have football. We have something to eat. Well, after the Super Bowl is a good time to get to go. So, hey, look, I'm 66, going to be 67 in May. You can't be. The key is I put in a suitcase when I lost the 35 a year ago.
Uh-huh.
And again, I don't want to go on it. But look, and I picked up the suitcase. I went, "You've been carrying that around?"
Yeah.
What a jerk. I said another word.
Right.
Are you an idiot?
Right.
You pick up 35-pound suitcase or 46 even.
Right.
You're carrying it around? I'm not saying you are.
No.
So
Right.
And all these jackets and stuff that I really liked.
Yeah.
You can wear them again.
There you go.
Speaking of saving budgets, like by having a home Super Bowl, right?
That's right.
Hey, just take them in a little and then they look good.
Right.
So thanks.
46. 10 more, you could have matched the Super Bowl number. You know what I mean?
Well, goals are goals.
Next year, Super Bowl 57, right? You'll lose 11 more. And keep
That
going.
or work for Heinz.
I like that. Chris, Route 66 Berman here on the Rich Eisen Show. There you go. I'm trying. So you can do it as well. Nutrisystem, Chris Berman is here on the Rich Eisen Show. Again, we're here on NBC Sports on Peacock, NBC Sports Audio, and our terrestrial radio audience is back here for our Super Bowl 56 show, the Rich Eisen Show, here in Los Angeles, California. Our friends at NetSuite by Oracle is a sponsor of the Rich Eisen Show. Ready to upgrade? Go to netsuite.com/rich. Chris Berman is here on the program, and it is, like I said, it's always great to see you, man. So
it's a Super Bowl, Rich. It's not the Super Bowl necessarily we all saw coming, but this season was a season that was different. They're all different,
right?
But if you think about it, no dominant team. I mean, you've talked it ad nauseum with what you do here and what you do at NFL Network, and I can't believe you've been away from us at ESPN for almost 20 years. You and Stu, God rest his soul, with SportsCenter.
I think
you were
about
the young ones.
Listen, and you were, I'll say it again, you were so gracious. I was 26 when I walked in there from Market 1, whatever the heck it was, in Redding, California. And I remember, I'll say this with you sitting here. I apologize for embarrassing you if I am. Okay, but I just remember when I first started there. It was a probationary period where I was just observing.
It was?
Okay. Yeah, there was no ESPN News yet. They didn't
run that past me,
No,
they used to run everything past me.
Well, but
those days are over.
But I just remember I was observing. So what I would do is I'd sit in a room, would watch the SportsCenter Ideas meeting go down, and one of the first SportsCenters. It was right around mid to late February of '96. It was when you would come back in for a handful of shows, because you were doing
football was over.
Exactly. Football's over, and so you did some SportsCenters. And I remember you walking into the room for the Ideas meeting, and the guy that I was watching on television walked in the door. There wasn't a single affectation. There wasn't a single thing about you that wasn't the guy that I thought I had already known. And I thought to myself, I took it in, and I'm like, this is a mark of success, but also something that I want to take away, that there's going to be no filter. It's going to be me, because I saw that from you. And so I just wanted to say that. So thank you. No, you are most welcome. I honestly, I saw that and I thought to myself, I got to do that.
Well, so I think the only thing I would take from that is thanks, but to all younger aspiring folks to get to where you are, or I'm halfway out, but I mean, I'm a semi-emeritus, semi-retired. I'm loving what I'm doing. Prime time after the game, I still get up for it. I think it's what, my 40th Super Bowl? I don't know. Somebody said my 40th. Am I that old? No. At any rate, back to that. Especially if you're on every day. You're not just on like a weekend show or something. Yeah. We're not smart enough to be good actors or actresses. Maybe we think we are. So you might as well be yourself.
Right.
And if that's not good enough in the long run, then you're not good enough. And if you're not yourself and you're trying to fool, look, it's a professional job. So there's certain things we say in life that we don't say on the air. Well, hopefully not, right? but right. There should be a stop sign, but sometimes we all run one every now and then. But 40, whatever years, my point is, people will see through it eventually. Mm-hmm. Not really him or her. Might as well be you.
Right.
And it's worked out pretty well for you.
The whole crew that I parachuted into in '96.
Great crew.
Honestly, because it's this same thing from Dan and Keith, Stewart, and Robin Roberts and Bob Lee and Charlie Steiner. Those were the people who were doing the 6 o'clock Eastern Sports Center and the 11 o'clock Sports Center mostly. And, so many people who I got to work with. It was unbelievable just back in that day.
Well, when the show ended, get ready for the next one.
Yeah.
It was still in the 90s and 2000.
Well, I remember when I was doing one of my first Sports Centers I did was a Sunday in March, and you were getting ready to do Baseball Tonight. And then the next day I would do, I did Deuce Raps on ESPN2. Deuce Raps for the hockey intermission, and Billy Pito was getting ready to do NHL Tonight. The Judge Bill Pito. Judge Bill Pito. And so, and I do remember that, Robin Roberts would do another game on primetime. And then Bill Pito took that chair. And I remember
Stu did it too.
Right, Stu did it too. And it would always be, not maybe the highlight of the day game, maybe not the marquee matchup of the game. And I remember that of the day, then you came down on NHL Tonight for Pito, and you did the not marquee matchup of the hockey night.
I hadn't thought of that in a long time. I had the Whalers against somebody, right? Obviously.
Yes, that's what it was.
Turnaround was fair play.
Yes, it was like they weren't even in line for the 8th and final playoff spot, these two teams. No. And you did the highlight for that one.
Ottawa.
I remember I was there, and I thought it was the most hilarious thing ever.
Here's the thing. The more you can do, the longer they keep you around. Can you long snap? Are you a lefty? Sure. Can you get a batter out?
Yeah,
you're in.
It's it.
Okay.
I know.
I'm kidding.
You are not. No, but you're also not wrong. Chris Berman here on the Rich Eisen Show. So what was the first Super Bowl you covered?
Niners first one. Bengals, oddly enough.
So Niners-Bengals, the one in Detroit.
Super Bowl 16 in Pontiac, which was like 20 below or whatever it was.
Right.
That was my first. Now, we had only been on, Rich, fall of 79, so this was the 81 season. Both of these teams, now these Bengals came out of nowhere like those Bengals, oddly enough. It's funny that you bring that. They were 6-10. The Niners were 6-10 the year before, too. So that was a Super Bowl nobody saw coming either.
Right.
Joe Montana, we heard of him from Notre Dame. He's okay.
Right.
And Bill Walsh, he's 52. He's silver-haired, maybe.
From the Bengals system.
From the Bengals, so that could be nothing except Paul Brown. Yeah, but okay. And so these teams are right. So that was my first one. And because I did the late show with Tommy Mees, the late, great Tommy Mees, often. I was on at 2:30 in the morning, Eastern, 11:30 West Coast.
Yeah.
I picked the Niners as the Swami almost every week, and the Bengals too. And so it was like my best percentage of all time. And I've only done the Swami 40 because it was like...
You're like Marino. You came out of the gate.
I'm on both of them. They kept winning. They kept being underdogs. And I have 3 other picks. If I could just go 50% on those other 3 and go, 2-0 at any rate. And so the Niners, I was very tight with them. by accident. I went out to cover the championship game. I know I'm going on, and I don't know how much time we have, but this is my first Super Bowl. I hadn't thought of this one. I don't know who's watching us. We're only 2 years old. I'm on at 2:30 in the morning. I'm picking the 49ers, but so what, right? This is not like now. I go out to their training at Friday. 11 players line up for an interview. Either Randy Cross or Charlie Young, veteran tight end. Randy, great guard.
Yeah.
Later center. A guard, really. They said, "You're the Swami. You've been picking us every week." I said, yeah, I guess I have. We have plenty of time for you. Because it was a different world. There weren't 9,000 people looking for interviews.
And were you surprised that they had actually heard this too?
Yes,
right?
That's my point. Yeah. And now here's the catch, of course, which we've seen a million times. Yeah. And of all those guys, Joe and Dwight, Dwight we lost a couple years ago to ALS, right. And Dwight Clark, and he became my best friend. But I'm became close with the owner, Eddie DeBartolo. ESPN, we had seats like in the phone booth in the press box. He goes, "Well, you can watch the game with me." Whoa. Super Bowl owner. That didn't mean I was rooting against the Bengals, because the Bengals were another wonderful story with Kenny. And so here's the Bengals in another Super Bowl, and that was my first one. Of course, the Niners, that was the start of their run. So it was kind of, in retrospect, Rich, now I'm putting it into not Chris Berman, but into football terms. I don't want to say football made a left-hand turn with the 49ers. The 70s were, Steelers, Raiders, Dolphins. Cowboys. And of course, Dallas was always in, but those were things changed.
Right.
And the Niners became out of nowhere a dynasty. So it was kind of the beginning of, I don't want to call it modern football, because we've had several changes. Johnny Unitas brought in modern football, for example, if you will. But it was a pivot for the league, and it was interesting that happened to be my first one.
And now here the Bengals are in it, and so many people thought when the Bengals won the AFC Championship game first and the Niners were in the NFC Championship game that would have to be the matchup, because that was the matchup the only other two times the Bengals made it and saw Joe Montana. Now Niners are out, and the Bengals have the kid named Joe, and that's the focus for so many people this week, and rightfully so, because have you seen, what meteoric rise can this compare to? Brady's, maybe, Kurt Warner, another one, for some kid to make his bones in college, do an incredible job, which neither Kurt nor Brady really did, although Brady did have some great games at Michigan. He's the number one overall pick doing it right now for the Bengals.
For the Bengals. For the Bungles, for the Bengals. We used to call them the Bengals. That was nicer than the Bungles. I mean, way back when.
Yes.
But no, I read this, and I don't know if it's true, that the only, and he hasn't won the Super Bowl or the Super Bowl MVP yet, obviously, and hey, who knows if he will. He could, obviously. The only two others that were the college champ, and I guess MVP, well, there was no college game back then, but are two Joes, right?
Yes.
Maybe it was this early on in your career, or maybe it's just ever. Joe Namath, Joe Montana, something like that. Right. I read I haven't.
Right, and none of them were able to add a Heisman on top of it. He would be the only one to win a national championship and a Super Bowl with a Heisman in the case, too.
Well, here's the thing. This Bengal team, and I said it going into the championship game, thinking that they probably won't get past the Chiefs. And at 21-3, we all look like we were correct, right?
Of course.
Maybe we can get into the Bengals story after that. But I said it reminds me of the '88 Buffalo Bills, another team I was very close with, obviously. But the reason I say that, they came from nowhere. They were terrible for a decade. And they started 4-0, and they were really good. And they ended up losing to the Bengals in the championship game with Boomer's Bengals, the other Boomer, Esiason.
Yes.
Well, David Wells, the Boomer Esiason. We can debate whatever, how you rank the Boomers, whatever, but
whole question.
David Wells always ranked himself first, and then we went on. But at any rate, George Scott, the baseball player.
It's another one?
Boomer hits taters. Boy, I'm really, in honor of the Olympics, I'm really doing the slalom here, right?
You're running the decathlon, yes.
At any rate, those Bills lost in the championship game, but then became what they were, contenders every year. And I thought, if the Bengals get stopped here, they're here, though. This isn't, they caught lightning in a bottle and that. No. Because they have more than Burrow. Obviously, we know that now. What I thought at some point, and I don't think we're going to see it in the Super Bowl, does the clock strike 12 and the carriage become a pumpkin? Does the prince become a frog? And it's funny, they have so many college players, not only Burrow and Chase, Hubbard, Ohio State, some offensive linemen that played in, I understand it's the Super Bowl or the championship game.
Right.
But big time deals in college, whether they were championship games or big money games, they're going to be okay here. If they lose, they lose. And of course, what they've done twice is hold the Chiefs to 3 points twice in the last half plus of 2 games, both in January. The only problem is I need a new nickname for Burrow because I've gone with January Joe. Well, it's February now.
Okay.
Because the day they beat the Chiefs, it was January 2nd, 3rd, whatever it was.
Well, let's drill down on this because we have gotten many suggestions from our phone callers.
Of course.
So let's run some by you, and since you are the master of the nickname. So some of them that are out there are Joe Shiesty, right? Because
I read that, but that kind of
I
Can you say that on national television?
It doesn't. I know, right?
Well, Joe Burr.
Joe Burr, because he's got
ice water in veins.
Yep.
Yeah, but that's
all right.
So the one that we heard that we like a lot is Joey Business. We kind of like that one.
Joey Business.
Okay.
How about the one I came up with yesterday?
I was just about to get to you, sir.
What was that?
TJ Jefferson. You go and tell Chris Berman yourself your nickname idea for Joe Burrow. Go ahead, TJ.
Well, Chris Berman, I was thinking because the man loves cigars so much and he smoked a lot of them, he could be Joe Heba.
Joe Heba.
The fact is, if he wins the Super Bowl, he can be whatever the hell he wants.
See, I think calling him Joe Heba is not that, universal, but he would smoke Joe Hebas, right? Like now that is at the workshop.
I guess we Joe Heba, but the cigar, but then there's the little glasses, but they were changed the next game. So
right.
It's fascinating that he's doing it for them. It is the Bengals.
Right.
But we have to erase that. We have to erase that. It's just so unfair to go, it's the Bengals. But we have to erase that. Look, they beat the 1, they beat the 2. You've recounted. They beat the Chiefs twice in a month after being way behind.
He was sacked 9 times in a game. The last guy who had a playoff game being sacked 9 times.
That's impossible.
No, the last guy to do it was Len Dawson in the AFL championship in '66.
I know.
I mean, he keeps getting up.
Booger McFarland threw on who's become a great Tommy 2.0. You know what I mean? Tommy is Tommy Jackson, who lives in Cincinnati. And I got a half an hour of sales pitch last night on why the Bengals will win.
How's he doing?
He's doing great.
Fantastic.
Tommy's doing great.
He's one of the nicest people
one of my best friends
ever been around. In the same way that I started this interview by saying how gracious you were. Him too, man.
Well, he's doing great. I will tell him hello,
and
he may be listening. I mean, who knows? But since I called him last night, I'm with Tommy. So give me the local flavor here. Yeah. I mean, we talk every week, but now it's the Super Bowl, so I got a half-hour campaign stump, which was great.
Right.
But anyway, Booger said the Burrow game, and we weren't counting on it on primetime for him to say it.
Yeah.
Was Joe gets knocked down. And he gets up again, and I pulled from the deeper workings, Chumbawamba, out of. I within 5 seconds. Now look, these are not the Rolling Stones, Chumbawamba, But
breaking news.
But it was I get knocked down. And I said I was not planning to do this, Booger, but you did say it. So give him complete credit for that. So here are the Bengals. Done the old-fashioned way, draft. But as a coach told me before we knew they were going to be this good, well, if you finish that low so many years and you have that many high draft picks, sooner or later you're going to get most of them right. And it wasn't a knock on them. It was, okay. Right. It was like a November conversation I had with a coach in the division. Yeah, and they did. But you know what they're doing on, and that sounds like I'm Bengal because we can go to the Rams too, and I know we don't have forever, but we can go to the Bills and the Chiefs and the Niners and all my teams who aren't there. But this coach also told me in November. Mm-hmm. It's not about the kicker only, who now has gone on to. That's a nickname that I've seen a lot, like Shooter McPherson out of the. We like
not bad.
That.
Shooter
I read that, and
good.
there's a song, and somebody wrote, but we like that. Yeah, I mean, that's 12 for 12 in the playoffs.
Boom.
Vinatieri-like.
Well, the one thing that I guess we can definitely cross off is Chumbawamba Joe. That is
no, we're not, dude. No, that's out.
Not gonna, no one's going to be able to explain that to him.
If he gets sacked 9 times and they win, I will bring it out one last time.
Chumbawamba Joe.
Here's my thing about Bengals, and I'll move on. Like, little things that we always figured the Bengals would be totally penalized. They're like the least.
It isn't.
I think like the least yards.
It is amazing what they've done.
And here's what a coach told me. Special teams, usually we have an advantage there. We don't. And that wasn't just there's a good kicker.
Right.
It was coverage, all that. Like, that was told to me in November. We don't have that advantage this year. They have whatever they've done. So it's like little things that we don't see.
Right.
What did this defense do to hold the Chiefs to 3 points twice? I don't know.
Well, this is going to be an amazing matchup. Super Bowl 56. Chris Berman, you are the man. Thank you for coming on here. Nutrisystem, everybody check it out. You've lost 46 pounds on
Doug
Nutrisystem.
Plank. I can't believe that was a pull. I'll be on after the game.
There it is. You've lost Doug Plank right there. There it is.
Well, yeah, Doug Plank. It looked like I should get hit by Doug Plank, but
look great, man.
We're going to be on primetime after the game, Real TV, Go Classic, ESPN, the regular.
Right.
And the couple things I'll say about the Rams, we got to go. They've done it 2 different flavors of ice cream, right? Mm-hmm. One builds draft, one builds the Rams' next first-round pick will be, I don't know if I'll be alive. So I'm not knocking it, but I mean, George Allen, Page. But so many big-name players, here they are. They've delivered. Matthew Stafford's a wonderful story. Never complained in Detroit. Never. Didn't complain going out in the door, during being in there, or leaving. Mm-hmm. Love that. Whitworth is a wonderful story with the tackle, both Bengals and Rams.
That's right.
But here's the best. So there's hope for you and me, and I'll leave it with this, although we were never this level of player. Eric Weddle from the beach.
How about that?
His leading tackler last week made that big stop right on 3rd down.
Yeah.
Here's where I'm looking at. You will like this.
Okay.
If the Rams win, and I'm picking a field goal game, why wouldn't we, the way these playoffs are going, right? Mm-hmm. And actually, I'm picking... After that speech, Rams 3, but if I'm wrong, I'm fine with it.
Okay.
So it's kind of the Bengals Swami-ish, If Weddle and the Rams win, San Diego Chargers have won a Super Bowl.
There you go.
That's my story, and I'm sticking with it.
So the San Diego
Chargers go.
By the way, so the San Diego Chargers and Detroit Lions win a Super Bowl if the Rams win.
And that would be and that's very Bengal-like. Well, the Chargers were always better than that, but they disappointed. Yeah. You're right. Lions and Chargers
oh my.
Or the Bengals.
Oh my.
And that's what we have with 2 number 4 seeds.
That's why they
play the games. That's why they play 56 Super Bowl games.
And the spread is down to 4, Chris. It's down to 4.
Yeah. No, I know. No, because it's
4.5. It's down to 3.5 in some spots too.
It won't get to 3, I don't think.
I don't think so either.
But it's set up for those last 2 rounds of the playoffs. Yeah. Now, the first round was terrible, but the 7 seeds, we got rid of them.
Yeah,
so,
right.
And so other teams have played like 7 seeds.
But I'm with you. Field goal game. I like the Rams, too.
Chris,
you're the man. Thank you for coming on.
Sorry
not at all. Thank you.
The parking meter's running, I know.
No. It's Dion's calling in a few minutes. I'll tell him you said hello.
Please do.
You got it.
Hey, continued success, man. I'm proud of you.
Right,
we remember you when.
Means the world. Thank you. Chris Berman, everybody get on Nutrisystem. Look like this man. Why the hell not?
Well, I don't know about that.
No, they should. Chris Berman here on the Rich Eisen Show. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.